Is it recording? It doesn't show it on ours or mine. Oh yeah.
Yep. And
got it.
Stop share screen.
So you don't want to do all that talking and not have
Guys, I'm killing the call. Is it already? Awesome. Okay, cool. Okay. I want to say thank you to everyone who made it. It's a holiday weekend, so just thank you for taking your time out to make this call. Okay, so tonight's topic is why your business is not succeeding. Okay, so one of the key elements, and I'll be bringing this back, is you're not doing your personal development. So here's a challenge for everyone. And I say this because I've accidentally challenged myself with this. Do your personal development every day for 1 week. And during that week, just take some notes. It doesn't have to be anything major. Just take a few notes, like how you're feeling, how your week goes, etc. And then once that week's over, stop doing personal development for 3 days. And then make notes about those 3 days and see how things go and how that versus that week and those 3 days. I guarantee you're going to see a difference. And I say that because I haven't done my personal development in 3 days. And I have woke up today feeling very off kilter and not in a really good headspace. I found myself being negative and just not in my just general happy place. And I know it has to do with my personal development. I've had family in town. It's been crazy. And I even told Clifton today, I was like, if I was sitting down and reading like one of my other books, then I'd call BS on myself. But I haven't even had time to that. By the time I'm getting in bed, it's like midnight or 1 by the time the day ends, and I haven't had time. I've been doing other things business-wise, so my personal development has gone to the wayside. So I challenge you to try this and see the difference because it makes a huge difference. So kind of a discussion is, or just you can think about it. We can open the discussion at the end if you want, Kristen, whatever you want to do. What is everyone currently reading for their personal development? And how did you do this past week with your personal development? Like I just said, I haven't read the last 3 days. I did great Monday through Thursday, and then I fell off the last 3 days.
I personally am reading Girl Code, but I jump back and forth between things, and I read, but I also watch YouTube videos. So just so you guys know that personal development is in many, facets. It's not just like, one fit, or one size fits all type of thing. Like you can watch videos that are helping you. You can listen to personal development. I mean, to say that you don't have time, I like to do it before I go to bed because that's my unwind time. That's when, a lot of people can just let it soak in for while you're sleeping. But, a lot of people like to do it audio so that you can drive somewhere and you can listen to it. I mean, most places take about 10 to 15 minutes to get to. I don't know how, where everybody lives relative to where they're going. But, I mean, most places aren't right next door to your house. So you're going to have some time in the car while you're driving and you can listen to some personal development. And, sometimes I know that Courtney does it while she's like cleaning and such. She just, puts in her earbuds and she just goes, to town. So there are definitely ways to do it if you say that you don't have time to read or reading is not your thing. Because I know my husband, for one, hates reading, hates it. But he'll listen to an audiobook. And I think that that's, a perfect way for people to get it in if you aren't a person that likes to open up a book. So, like Dina said, though, what is everybody reading?
Carrie, what are you reading?
You Are a Badass, and this one, I can do it. I can do anything if I knew what it was.
I can do anything if I knew what it was.
And
You Are a Badass.
Perfect.
Anyone else?
I just downloaded my app onto my phone, and I haven't had a chance to, so I haven't really been able to listen to any of that. I listened to the National Wake Up Call though the other day.
Awesome.
I've been failing with personal development, so.
But the Wake Up Call is huge too.
I want to read. I know, but I want to read that Girl Code book. But it's so hard for me to actually have time where I can sit down and read. And just like your husband, Kristen, I hate reading. So it stinks that it's not on audio.
Oh, it's not?
Oh, that's a bummer.
No, and my son just asked me how do I hate reading because he sits here and reads all day long, and I hate it. He's 11, and that's great that he loves to read, but I've always hated it.
Sam, are you reading anything right now?
She just muted.
Oh, she
And
just bumped off.
she left again.
Erin, are you reading anything right now? She might have babies going on.
Okay. We shall move on. Just because I think we're going to run out of time.
I figured.
Okay. Not letting go of comparisons. Okay, so this really hit home the other day when I was reading Girl Code. So jealousy is natural. It's just, we're human beings. It's going to happen. We see top coaches. We see other coaches, hitting goals and, and some of us are like, oh, I wish that were me. And you kind of get bummed out about it. But instead of letting that make us upset and make us angry and, wish not good things on that person, let's embrace it. Let's let it fuel us and let it, congratulate them and reach out to them and let them be a source of inspiration for you. So in Girl Code, I thought this was great. If she can do it, I can too. And that's the truth. If someone else can do it, you absolutely can do it too. You might not be at the same pace. It might not be the same way, but you can do it. And if you learn to appreciate the women out there who are doing amazing things, you open up a world of possibilities to yourself. Stop wasting your energy hating on another female and instead send her love. The moment you do this, I guarantee you'll feel a shift in your bones that is almost indescribable. And it's so true. I had that happen a month ago. Someone did something and immediately I was like kind of upset, like, oh, they're succeeding. I wish I was there. Why am I not there? And then I start questioning myself and comparing them and me. And I was like, what are you doing? Just celebrate for them. And I did. And I commented on their post and I was like, congratulations, that's awesome. And I immediately felt better. So we have to it's hard because it's natural and we're human. We have to let go of the comparisons.
Well, and the thing is that you guys have to remember that each one of us has something special and different to offer. When somebody says, oh, there's so many Beachbody coaches, really there's more people that have never even heard of Beachbody than you can even imagine. And just because somebody knows somebody else that's a Beachbody coach, that means nothing because people come to you because you stand out. You're different. So as long as you're sharing and letting people know what you're about, and it's not about selling, it's about representing yourself and what you're doing and the workouts and, showing people how it's working for you. The more you show it and share it, then the more people are going to come to you because they're sick and tired. So many people, I've read so many articles in the last week, ask Dana, because we share them back and forth, where people are, sick and tired of the MLMs. Don't be one of those icky stickies. Show what you're doing and how it's working for you because you want to stand out. Beachbody coaching is special and unique because, there's going to be some of those coaches that are out there and they're selling and they're doing it the wrong way. Stand out for the right reasons. And you know what? There won't be any comparison because you are the original. You shine on your own. And the thing is that, who cares if somebody else started a long time ago? If you're being consistent and you're showing true to yourself, you know what? You're going to have a bajillion people out there that are coming to you because they don't care about what Joe Schmo's doing down the road. They want to see somebody who's being original and who doesn't care about what other people think. That's why people will come to you. The minute you shed that skin of caring about what other people think, because we all do, but if you stop caring about it just for a minute, I guarantee you, like Dana said, your world will change.
This is a big one, not making team calls. No, yes, I understand we all have different schedules. Perhaps you can't listen to the wake-up call or the bombshell call because you have a full-time job or your mom and your schedule is just not yours. I get that 100%. But if you can't do that, still make them a priority. Set time aside during the week schedule it. Say, I need a half an hour to listen to this bombshell call. I need a half an hour to listen to this national wake up call, and schedule it with yourself. And it's so important because this is how you stay motivated and inspired and supported and feel connected, because we're out here on our own. But once you're on these calls, that's when you realize you're not alone. And that's where your team actually is. And it's so important. And you find such great tips. Even if there's a call that I can't necessarily relate to the person, I always find some kind of nugget in that call that I'm like, oh, I can use this for my business. And they're always like, we're always learning new things from these coaches on these calls. So definitely take time and schedule it. I personally schedule on my work calendar that on Monday at 11 o'clock, I am not available. On Wednesdays at 12:30, I am not available. And I think I've only had one conflicting appointment in the last 2 months since I started scheduling that out. And then I just listen to it in a later date. So yeah. So do you make and or listen to the national wake up call and the bombshell call?
And I think we should also maybe do something like because Dana is really good about posting when we're having these calls, like whether it's a national wake up call or the bombshell. Maybe if you guys can't catch it, you write in the comments, because the comments in that post aren't going to go anywhere. That just watch it and write your favorite highlight of that call, so that everybody knows that you are being, a product of the product. You're following through with what you say you're going to do, because it's easy to say, I'm going to go watch something and then never do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Plus then that if you're saying, oh, I really enjoyed this, it's going to motivate someone else to want to listen in too.
And we're not having you guys listen to these things just because we're cruel and want to make you guys like do work or anything like that in terms of that. But, it's because it's going to make you better. It's like Courtney said, she got something out of the national wake up call. You'd be surprised what you can get out of these calls. And I hope you're getting stuff out of this call, in fact, because, there's always something that you can grow from. Even Dana and I, even if we're presenting, when you guys add stuff to us, to the conversation, there's aha moments for us too. So it helps us even when you guys tune into calls for us. And, I know I still learn from the bombshell calls and the national wake up calls. I don't think that there's any coach, even top coaches, that can say that they don't learn.
Michelle Meyer says it best, and she said, I listen to every national wake-up call because I'm not on it. So if I'm not on it, then I don't know it.
For me, the bombshell call is hard because it's YouTube, and we have a limited amount of data that we can use, and YouTube uses a lot of data.
Does it? I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yes.
Well, then I guess
we have satellite internet, and then we have a limited amount on our phones. So
I guess my suggestion for that would be then, if you're going to have to choose calls you listen to, choose a topic that you feel really applies to something you need in your business. Okay. Not making connections. If you're not starting the conversations, then people aren't going to feel connected to you, and you're not creating the opportunity to be able to invite them to the challenge group or the coaching opportunity. So are you messaging people daily and starting conversations? Do those conversations have a question? It's the key to keeping the conversation going with people. Find something relatable by looking on their Facebook page. Congratulations is a real easy way to start a conversation. Birthdays, new baby, getting married, new pup, anything that's going on in life is a great way to start a conversation. And it could be something you're not familiar with that you're kind of like just curious about. Maybe there's a gentleman that I work with, and he's been doing a lot of woodworking, and it's amazing. So that's like a great conversation starter for me, because I could be like, oh, hey, I saw you've been doing this. I think it looks amazing. Are you doing a side business, or is it just for fun or a hobby? That's a great way to start a conversation. So how many connections did you make this week?
Well, I was just going to add to that is that it's, you want to build your connections, but you got to remember that that's what makes us different too. We don't just, like, oh, you got something from us. Okay, move on. It's about finding out what's important in people's lives and making connections with them on a personal level, because we care about people, not just, especially like we've always said, weight loss and fitness is a very personal thing. So, if you're asking people to do these things, you want to immerse yourself into their lives, because if they don't feel like they can trust you, which if you're not building a relationship with them, most people won't trust you, then they're not going to do these things that you're asking of them. And that kind of goes even into being a product of the product. If you're not showing that you're doing it, how is somebody else going to do it too? If they don't see you doing it, if you don't trust and believe in yourself, how are they going to believe in you?
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And it does make people feel more comfortable with you. I even had a conversation with the challenger this past week, and we talked about more than just health and fitness. We talked about like her writing and potentially a blog. And it was one of the greatest conversations, because like, this is exactly what this is all about. It's not just about working out and eating healthy. It's about mental health and taking care of yourself, because it's going to be good for you overall. And it was just an awesome conversation. So, and it makes you both feel connected to each other. Not inviting. And this starts with the connecting. Once you've established that connection with someone, it's easier to invite them to the opportunity, and it's not coming from left field. It doesn't feel awkward. They see what you're doing. They see what you're about. It makes it easier for you to add it into the conversation, or for them when they see, if you add them to an event page, or you ask people to join you on your Facebook page. It makes it so easy just to say, hey, I'm doing this. I feel like you'd enjoy this. You and I are very similar. Would you be interested in learning more? It's the perfect opportunity. So make the connection first, then do the invite. Remember, people are shy and it's hard to talk about this stuff. So 9 times out of 10, you need to approach them and think about how you were approached for your challenge group. Did a coach reach out to you and ask you to join them on the journey? Because 9 times out of 10, someone's approached them. It's rare that someone's going to come to you and ask about it. So how often are you inviting people to the opportunity?
And think about how you would, not just how somebody did approach it to you, how you would want it approached to you. How would you respond if somebody just flat out came out and said, join me in this weight loss challenge? Because I would be turned off. I don't know if other people would be, but that's me. Like, that would basically be like you telling me I'm fat. So, I a big middle finger to you. So just be, aware of the fact that you have to build these relationships, because, people don't want you just to, throw that invitation out there. Have it be natural. Have it just flow with the conversation.
Yep. Okay. Not following up. This is key. And this is why you have to have an organized business. Because let me tell you, I've dropped the ball on a few people and lost a few potential challengers because of this. And I know it's hard to follow up sometimes, especially if you see someone's read your message and you're like, oh, well, they don't want to respond or ignore you. But think about it like this. How often have you read a text message and forgot to respond? How often have you read a Facebook message and forgot to respond? It happens. Half the time we could be in the middle of something and we see the message and we partially read it and then something happens. Or, we read it and we're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you go to respond and something else happens and you keep forgetting. Don't hesitate to follow up with people or restart a conversation with them if you don't hear back from them. I do it. I will do it probably at least 3 times. If I don't hear from them after the 3rd time, I will probably let it go. But I will follow up people even if they don't respond, because a lot of times after I respond and I just send them like, oh, hey, blah, 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 they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I never responded to you. I meant to. Well, so people are busy. You know what it's like on your end. And it's so great when someone follows up with you about something, because life does get crazy and you do forget. I know that I've been needing to email someone for over a week, not with Beachbody, for over a week now. And every day I think of it and every day it pops in my head and I'm nowhere near a computer to email this person back. But that's the same thing with our messages. So remember, consistently following up with others to show them that as your coach, because you're giving them a view into what it's like to be their coach. So if you continue to follow up with them, then that shows you're not going to give up on them when they end up, falling off or stumbling on their journey. So stick with them. Kristen, did you have anything, or do you want me to go to the next one?
I was going to second what you said. But the other thing is, guys, I totally will look at something when I'm doing basically what Dana said. You can also, and I'm not always best about this, but you can also recheck it so that it's for your messages for you. If you forget to look back at that, I saw a message and I, forget to follow back up, because some people will message you and that is your follow-up. You're following back up and you forget to go back to it. You can mark it unread. So then you can go back and you can make sure that you're talking to that person if you see it, because obviously they may not know that, but since we need to be aware of these things so that we're not forgetting people, because those could be your potential, people you're working with, you want to make sure that you're going back and marking unread.
Awesome. So that's great.
It bolds it back up again.
I need to do that. Not being consistent. We've heard this 1,000 times. Every top coach will tell you consistency is key. If people stop seeing you, they're going to think that you've stopped and given up, and that they're going to start looking elsewhere. This doesn't just apply to your social media. This applies to your behind the scenes business more than anything. Being consistent with your personal development, being consistent with your invites, your connections, your follow-ups, your workouts, your Shakeology, everything. Be consistent with your business. Find a schedule that works for you and be consistent with it. How consistent are you? And I'm not saying don't take a day off. Absolutely. You definitely need to take a mental break. That needs to happen for everyone, or you'll burn yourself out. But as far as your business goes, you need to find a consistent schedule and be consistent about your power hour. Because that's what it all is your power hour.
Well, and you can do a power hour 5 days a week. If that, if you need a day or two off, think about everybody else in their business hours. Most people work 5 days a week, although most people don't get the flex hours that we get as coaches. But you also, with us being consistent, even if you take a day off, a personal day off, make sure you're still staying on Facebook and making posts, whether it's about Beachbody or not. You don't have to do all the invites per se that day, but have a selfie with your water glass that says Shakeology on there, and be still in the back of people's minds. You don't have to necessarily do work, but have it so that, somehow people are like, oh, that's, she's still using that in Shakeology. Maybe I should message her, you can get in people's heads and not even say anything. That could just be in the background.
This is probably the biggest one of all these slides, is not treating it like a business. This hit me I don't know, 3-6 months ago. Because just take a minute and think about how you treat your coaching business versus your current and or previous job. If you don't make phone calls or emails, you'd get in trouble. If you missed a team meeting, you'd get in trouble. If you didn't complete a request from your boss or your supervisor, you'd get in trouble. But as this business, if we go a day or a week or a month and we don't make the team calls and we don't do our personal development and we don't, invite people, no one's going to yell at you, because it's not their business, it's yours. You have to keep yourself accountable for this, but you have to give it that business mindset. If you want to be successful in it, you have to treat it like you're going to get in trouble if you don't actually do these things. So take the same mindset you would have for your job and apply it to your business. I guarantee it will make a difference. That's why setting appointments and scheduling things, if that works for you, then absolutely do it. Figure out what works for you best. It is your business though. That's the great thing about it, is that you can be flexible with how it is. You are your own boss and you can be flexible. But if you're too flexible, then you're not actually doing the work and you're letting everything go by the wayside. I was like, Kristen, everything all right over there?
Yeah, Liam decided to not listen and he fell in the garage. Of course.
Okay.
Typical child, especially typical boy, stubborn child. But Mama's talking. Thank you. So what I was gonna say is that, yeah, I mean, you guys have to treat this as a non-negotiable because, I mean, if you are okay with your business not moving, then so be it. But you know, when you're not making time like to treat it like a business, and you know, to make time to actually do the steps that are necessary to make yourself successful, I mean, there is no business out there. People can promise there's businesses out there that it will just fall in your lap. Money is not just handed out to people. There's no tree out there that you can shake and it's going to fall into your lap. You need to put effort into it. And if you expect that you want your business to grow, it's important.
Well, she froze. Kristen?
There, where did it froze? And I was like,
Important. It's important.
But it's important. Can you go over there and drop, please? But it's important that you guys put these things in because your business will not grow. If you want your business to grow, it's imperative for you guys to actually put in effort. You know, it's just like any other job, like Dana said. If you don't put in any effort, you're going to get either fired, but there's no one to fire you. So that means your business is just not going to grow. And, you know, when your business doesn't grow and you get, you know, complacent or you get, you know, upset about it being complacent, you have to understand that you have to dig deep. And that's when even all the things that she was saying about the personal development and such and the inviting, you have to go back to those basic things. And if you aren't finding success, those are what you need to do. If you know, aren't doing those things, you should know that that's why your business is not growing.
And the final one is you're not remembering your why. I forgot to put this in quotes because this is from Girl Code. There will be days when you want to collapse in exhaustion and cry and you will want to pack it up and call it quits. Owning your own business will test your mettle and you will give up a lot of your life for a few years. Be prepared. It is difficult to be your own cheerleader, and clearly I can't spell, as well as everyone else's, every day, but the hustle, sweat, and tears make the utter joy of success even sweeter in the end. And that's the thing, is when you're having those rough days, because there's a lot of, if you've seen coaches quit, it's because they forgot why they were doing it. They forgot to look at the bigger picture. They forgot that it's going to take a while. They forgot that this is a roller coaster ride and that there are going to be hard times. So when you're going through that, you need to remember your why. So if there's 3 things that I feel like could sum up creating the success in your business, because the rest will fall into place, it's doing your personal development, because that's going to allow you to face your fears and not give a shit. Pardon my French. The second is treating this like you would your job, and like, and it's your business, and this is your livelihood, and this is what you've got to create to make the life that you want. And the last is to remember your why, and everything else will fall into place. Because if you do those 3 things, then you won't have a problem being consistent. You won't have a problem inviting people. You won't have a problem making connections. You won't have a problem with the follow-up. Those are the 3 key things that I feel like you have to have as your foundation, and everything else will fall into place.
I don't know if anybody watched that video that I posted the other day that Trey did, but this is exactly what that video was about. It wasn't saying why. I mean, the title is very deceiving. It was, why do Beachbody coaches quit? You know why they don't? It's because they forget their why. Or why they quit is because they forget their why. Your why is not helping people. We all want to help somebody. Everybody wants to help somebody. But your why is technically, it's that you want to make money because you want to, I mean, like, as much as you don't want to admit that your why is money, and you don't have to put it out there as saying, I want to make money, but you can put it out there that I want to build a future for my son or my daughter, and I want to put them through college, or I want to retire my husband. Those are whys. That's what's going to push you at the end of the day. Because, you know, when it comes down to it, you need something that's going to make you drive home and to just like to actually put effort towards it. If I said my effort, you know, is to help everybody else, yeah, that's a great why. But on those tough days, is that exactly exactly what's going to push me. No, the tough days that make it so that I don't want to come to work, you know, and I don't want to put any effort because, you know, like there are days that we all have that, you know, whether it's your kids are being rough, whether you don't feel well, you know, yes, we're allowed to take off days, but you have to remember that the next day, why you're doing this. It's not because you want to help people. It's because you want a better life for yourself, or for your family, or for your husband, or somebody else that you contribute to. But it's because you want it better for yourself. So make sure that you guys are remembering and write down your why. Make it so that it's visible, because until you remember, like, you know, ingrained in you, because it should be, but obviously so many people fall off because they forget their whys. Have it visible. Make it your screen, you know, shot on your backdrop on your computer. Have it be written as a quote on your mirror or on your refrigerator. Make it so that you never forget why you're doing this.
Mine's on my Teamsy. That's it. That's all I got. That's all she wrote. Also,
Let's
I think
do
we
it.
lost everyone. But
Except for Bridget.
Bridget.
Sam said that her computer is acting up, or her audio. I don't know if you saw that.
You didn't think I would you at all the whole time, did you?
Okay, guys, here it comes. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Pam, you're kind of in the way.
Do I need to change, like, do you want me to stop screen share?
Doesn't matter. I'm trying. Liam, can you move over just a little bit?
Yeah, get in closer. Wait, hold
Did
on.
you miss me?
That was so awkward.
Or great.
Awkward photo.
Yeah. We did a video yesterday, a live video on my summer group event.
that was
Carrie, and she's like,
and you can see me in the back shot.
sweet.
And even the doggies joined the call. There's babies of all sorts. You see the doggies? Yeah.
First thing Ava said is, "There's Liam."
So I'm here. Can you say that?
Can you say hi, Liam?
I'm here.
I know. She's beat.
Wave to the people. Say hi, guys.
Okay.
Now I'm waving to you, Bridget. I'm like,
No, my point was that, you know, the reason I wanted to do a picture is that we can do a call anywhere. It doesn't matter. You know, and my child was able to play the whole time while we were doing this call. So and it kind of plays into what we were doing with this call, so that, you know, whoever's watching the recording, you have no, you know, like if my kid's playing, guess what? You can put it on mute. And if you really don't want your kid to be playing, you know, on video, there is the on video, or where you can take off the video and people can't see it and you can still hear everything that's going on option. So, you know, it's kind of a dual purpose, but it's also to show other people that, you know, there is no cookie cutter, you know, way of doing this as a coach. Like, there's no right or wrong. You can involve your children. And I know I have a potential coach that she actually likes the fact that, you know, I involve my son into things and that, you know, I make this work for me. So if you guys are showing how you're doing that and you're actually letting it happen in your lives, I'm guaranteeing more people are going to start to join you.
Yeah, sorry guys, I would have been on earlier, but his aunt and uncle left, and I totally didn't get on Facebook or anything. And all of a sudden, I got on Facebook. I'm like, oh yeah, there was a call.
no, right.
I wouldn't have been on too much earlier, but a few minutes earlier.
I recorded it and I'll share the slides from Google.
Liam.
Yeah, Dana did a really awesome job on those slides.
Thanks.
So med props.
I
You're
can't wait
welcome.
to see them.
Sometimes inspiration hits. I was like doing it. I was like, oh my God, how I have 10 slides. But yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's good information, and sometimes 10 slides are necessary.
Oh yeah. No, I just kept going. I was like, oh, I need this one and this one and this one.
Good job.
But yeah, so I'll share the slides and then I'll drop this in YouTube and then post it for everyone to watch. So yeah, we're probably gonna drop any second.